Hi, this is Abdul Karim from Khaleej Times. In this video, we're looking back at the year 2020 and the biggest stories that shaped the headlines throughout the year. Here are some of the milestones and top stories of the month for the year 2020. In January, we saw temperatures dropping to minus 0.1 degrees Celsius on JEBEL, the highest peak in the UAE. The Ras Al Khaimah mountain was almost covered with snow and hail and took social media by storm. In February, we saw COVID-19 playing spoil sport. The UAE Tour cycling event was called off after 2 Italian staff members had tested positive for the coronavirus and began their quarantine. In March, the UAE began the National Disinfection Program, which was meant to last only 3 days. It involved a complete sterilization of all public utilities, public transport, and metro services during the weekend. Authorities had also announced the cancellation of Dubai World Cup 2020. In April, Dubai started the 24-hour sterilization drive for 2 weeks, which was extended by another week. Residents had to apply for movement permits to go grocery shopping and to buy essentials. Looking at the world of aviation, Emirates had grounded all of its commercial flights as well. On May 13, Emirati authorities had announced the reopening of parks and hotel beaches were allowed in Dubai. However, no more than 5 people were permitted to gather together as the country began the easing of the COVID-19 restrictions. SHARJAH had also unveiled its new state-of-the-art smart patrol car equipped with 5 cameras. It was in May when the authorities also announced the postponement of Expo 2020 to October 2021. In June, with the number of new cases also witnessing a drop, the UAE started easing restrictions after the completion of the National Disinfection Drive. Parades were held across the nation to thank the frontline workers for their efforts in combating the spread of COVID-19. In July, the UAE announced the opening of borders for international visitors, while residents had to apply for GDRFA permits and also submit a health declaration form upon arrival. That same month, the UAE launched a historic first mission to Mars known as the Hope Probe. In August, Dubai Tourism finally announced the return of concerts, events and weddings. We also saw sold-out gigs of Jimmy Carr at the Dubai World Trade Center. In September, the UAE's diplomatic efforts entered a new era. In what could alter the political landscape of the Middle East, the UAE and Bahrain signed the historic Abraham Accords to normalize relations with Israel. In October, while the launch and pre-orders of the new iPhone and iPhone 12 captivated the attention of Apple fans, Sharjah launched its new popular leisure attraction called She's Park. While in Dubai, the Point Fountain made its presence known by breaking the Guinness World Records by being the world's largest fountain. In November, what was described as the first global trade fair or an exhibition, Sharjah International Book Fair was held at the Expo Center in the Emirate as a hybrid event with virtual sessions and a physical expo. The same month, we also had landmark new laws that allowed 100% foreign ownership of businesses while also relaxing the family laws to make inheritance easier and allowed the cohabitation of unmarried couples in the UAE. In December, Israeli carrier Israel created history by becoming the first commercial flight from the country to land at Dubai International Airport. The same month, the UAE approved the usage of the Sinopharm vaccine as well as the vaccine developed by Pfizer-BioNTech, which was made available for citizens and residents for free at health centers across the nation. These were the biggest stories of the year that was. To read more about them, you can log on to khaleejtimes.com. Thank you for watching the video.